Yo, 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 we are back again with the Feuding Bros, as usual, with Freddie and Thierry here. And today, there's only one place to start. Well, there's only one thing to talk about, basically. It's Liverpool clinching the title officially after a brilliant season from them, to be honest. Basically, I mean, we cannot really say anything else about that. They were by far the better team, the best team in the league, and they finally clinch it. And so fitting that they will go and clinch it against Spurs, the gift that keeps on giving.
Of course.
And Spurs tried, in the first 10 minutes, first 11 minutes, try and make it interesting, but then just a total crumble. And if you need something, play Spurs. Basically, that's the moral of the story. But yeah, we're not here for Spurs. We're here for Liverpool, worthy winner in the end of the Premier League. And let's talk about Liverpool a little bit. And let's discuss how they got there in the end and got their second title in what? What was the last time? 2019 that they got it? No, 2021?
2020.
2020.
2019, COVID, yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
5, 6 years.
5, 6 years. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's discuss. Let's talk about Liverpool. Let's get into it. Guys,
Yeah.
you got to say.
I mean, they, like you said, worthy winners. I mean, there's nothing you can say. They've been the best team all season. They've been the best team all season. Obviously, we've seen that the level in the league dropped a little bit. I mean, there's two schools of thought. There's some people say that maybe the level of the smaller teams has improved, and we have seen that maybe with Fulham and Bournemouth, teams like that. Even the Crystal Palace that's lower down the table, they're usually pretty tough to beat. But in general, the teams last year that
Oh, I think we lost it. We lost everybody.
Yep. Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're still here. Okay. Well, let's go with you and let him try to recover what he's got there. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for just to carry on what he was going with. I mean, hey, Liverpool, man, they did it. Like, what can we say? For me, it's like, man, I don't think they were like amazing. It's just that there was nobody better. That's really what it is. And it may sound a little bit negative to say that, but honestly, like the level, I can see why it wasn't, as Thierry was saying, why people would say it wasn't the best. But I do think like the smaller teams have gotten better. The smaller teams, they will give you a game now, right? The Brightons, he named them. Even Nottingham Forest, third for the longest time. That says a lot, So I think the level of the league has leveled up a little bit more, especially the mid section of the table. I might be alone thinking that, but that's just my feeling. So, man, Liverpool doing it as a Man U fan, and I know I definitely back here. Yeah, man. I was just going in and saying that I was just gonna say, as a Man U fan and as an Arsenal fan, we're definitely concerned with this trophy that Liverpool just got, and I'm definitely pissed off because they're equaling our record. They are officially a better club than we are, right? If that wasn't clear. So they're heading in a better direction. They have a much promising future than we do. So like they're beating us on every level, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting, So they deserve it. They deserve it. Honestly, they do deserve it. But I want to hear from an Arsenal fan right now, man. What's up? Like, cause I'll be pissed off. I'll be pissed off that Liverpool just came and slot and without even being great. Without being great, they go on and do it. It's annoying, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this season, I can't really, I don't even know what to say about this season. Is it Liverpool that was great? Well, obviously they were better than everybody. Yes, of course. But was everybody else at their best? And you can say no. I mean, if you see, if I'm going to talk about Arsenal, who's the closest contender right now, as we speak right now, still second. 13 draws. 13 draws. That's crazy compared to what, 5 last year. Only 2 defeats last year. I think we got 3 defeats this year. But I mean, 13 draws. The draws killed us. Like the draws basically killed us. Oh yeah, and Liverpool, they were just consistent. They only lost twice. They were just consistently winning, just finding wins out of out of nothing when you think they were down, and then they will just come up with a win that will keep them in the race. And at the end of the day, worthy winners in the end. Is there anything? I mean, we've had a few revelations. I mean, I want to give props to. I don't know how many managers who come to the Premier League and their first season they win the league, like regardless of what you're gonna say about it's Klopp's team, it's Klopp like that. It's not Klopp's team, it's his team. He is the one that actually implemented because you can see his touches, and he's put himself in the record books right now. I mean, Slot, he came in, nobody expected anything from him. Everybody was most people. I don't think anybody saw Liverpool winning the league. Anybody that predicted nobody saw that. Most people had them finish third at most, and they just come and blitz the league, and they blitz it. They were, in the big games. I think they beat CE. They beat Chelsea. I think we are the only ones who beat them, right? I think we beat them, right? I think Arsenal beat them, or was it a draw? Can't remember now.
I think it was a draw actually.
I can't remember now, but yeah, I mean, and they did the business against the so-called smaller teams. There's a lot of credit that has to go to the team, to the players that last year were nowhere to be seen, and all of a sudden just looking. Just performing out of their minds, when we spoke at length about someone like Gravenberg, who just came out of nowhere and then just has a new lease of life right now. Midfield, McAllister coming back from the World Cup, just didn't skip a beat. A nice little player there, very, very consistent. He's always giving you at least a 7 out of 10 every game. This guy is not dropping.
And playing so much as well.
Yeah, and then players like Gakpo last year again, not very performing. This year comes on, and killing it. Yeah. Diaz didn't start the season very well, but then recently just kind of woke up. Yeah. Salah's been amazing all season. People are gonna point to the fact that this guy is, he's had a couple bad games, but you cannot be amazing all season, And they did it pretty much without a decent striker. We're complaining about not having a striker. They did it pretty much without a striker.
That's true.
Yeah, they did it pretty much without it. Solid in defense. They had a little wobble when Konate was down, but I mean, great keeper. They were just solid all way around, And it's credit to them, but it's also a reflection of where the league is at right now, in terms of just the league. I'm just talking about the league, just the league, because Arsenal obviously is not a great season from them. Yeah. City, not a great season. We were expecting Chelsea to do something this year. They just kind of threatened a little bit when they were second for like 2 days and they were chatting shit. But now they're back where they belong.
And then Maresca ruined it. Maresca ruined it.
Maresca made them believe that they weren't ready for the league. And they really believed it. you know, and then
Brought them back to earth.
Yeah.
and then top teams like you guys, Tottenham, all these teams just underperforming. It's probably the worst year for the likes of you guys and Tottenham, like in a
Big
long time.
Yeah.
Even teams that we were expecting to kind of like challenge a little bit, like the likes of Aston Villa. I mean, I would say if they finish where they are right now, it's a lukewarm season for Villa. They were supposed to kick on, So basically, there wasn't really a threat. You just had to be a little bit better than everybody else, and then you're gonna win that league. And then that's what Liverpool did for me.
That's it.
Yeah, like
That's
you
right.
said, before I dropped out. They were just better than everybody else, and they weren't as great as maybe we've seen previous winners. But yeah, I think they did what they had to do. They did their job, and nobody else was able to match it for one reason or another. This season the quality was lower. I think maybe the Euros has something to do with it. Also because a lot of players, or at least the top players, didn't really get much of a break last summer. So usually those seasons when they come back,
they've had players in competitions too. I mean, McAllister went all the way to the Copa. They had
I just mean the level of the league in general.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I just mean for the level of the
And
league.
I was gonna argue that because when you cut out, I was telling Jan that I feel like it's more so we have more evidence that the level of the league, the level of the smaller teams has risen. I feel like that's the evidence, because when you look at the Brightons and the Fulhams and all of them, like they are harder to beat, like literally.
Yeah, they've taken
just
points
go
off.
They've taken a lot of points off.
Yeah, they take points off top 4, of top 6. So like that's balancing things out, and we as Manchester United, we are the biggest evidence of that. Like you can't just come and be average and then because you have a name you're gonna beat teams. We know that's done now. Like these teams, they will give you a game. So I feel like the level has risen more so that it has dropped, and you just need to be a little bit better than the rest, and that's what Liverpool is showing. You're a little bit better than the rest, and you win. But that's also really quickly to say that it doesn't mean that hey, somebody else can just come and be better than the rest and obviously take over. But I guess that's another discussion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. And like, I mean, even add to that, you look at the performance of the promoted teams. They were not able to do anything in this league at all. Like they just were getting beat by everyone. So maybe that is a testament that even the smaller teams, the level has risen. That even teams getting promoted cannot mix with the Brentfords and the Crystal Palaces, the Wolves of this world, And so, there's good evidence for that. I mean, like we said, Liverpool was the best this year for sure, and I mean they have the players. Everybody really performed, except for obviously the main culprit, Darwin Nunez, but everybody else was good in that.
Good on Darwin, man. Like when he went through against Tottenham, I'm like,
oh my gosh,
why are you passing? You're 5-1 and you're still not confident. You're 5-1 up and you're still not confident. You're passing that ball. Never. You need that. You get your goal, and that'll be cherry on the cake. Man.
That's the Darwin thing to do.
And
that's
it's the worst pass you will ever see.
Oh yeah. It's just the Darwin thing to do, and it's just like, thank God for them. They didn't have to rely on him because that was not how it worked. So they had players. Obviously, Salah. Again, I mean, we've talked about him, but this guy, man, just at his age to keep this kind of level of performance is just incredible.
Carry his team, man. Carry his team on his back.
Carry his team, getting them out of trouble a lot. And obviously, lately it's been more difficult. But I mean, he's done so much for them this season. Like you cannot blame him for running.
You're bound to have like a little bit of a dip in the season,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And his dip came at the right time. Well, maybe not in the Champions League, but in the league, his dip came at the right time because it was already wrapped up, so to speak. So he already did the job before that, and just Salah, man. I mean, best player in the league by far.
Yeah, best player in the league by
Best player in
far.
the league.
And yeah, and I mean, like, do we want to? Is there I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase this, but would this come back to bite Arteta? Would this come back to bite Arsenal in the butt? Like this, I feel like this was a good missed opportunity. Because I mean, before it was City, and we know it's City. It's tough.
But I mean,
This year I feel like was the year, but
no?
it
But
never really
is it more of a missed opportunity than it was last year? I feel like last year was a bigger missed opportunity because you were leading for so long. This year came, and obviously it's a new season. Yes, you go in as one of the favorites, right? And obviously, if City is not performing, you're expecting you're expecting to be the one. But it's not like Arsenal was great as well, and they got beaten by a team that was better than them. It's just like Arsenal was. They're just like the same thing that we say about City not performing this year. We can say similar things about Arsenal as well because they haven't, and you can say that it was under pressure or whatever because it was just the league that they just went up to it like from the start. We've said from the start.
I feel like
that's why we say it's a missed opportunity because like seeing City drop off. We were thinking that would be like, oh, this is our time. It would be like your motivation to now kick on. Because like just performing like you performed the last 2 years, you probably would have won the league. We don't know. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but your performance dropped off so much. Like your points tally like is not like
it's horrible.
It's just not there compared to the last 2 years. And so that's why it's like, and especially with City, like if City was still up there until the end and then maybe they tailed off at the end, you can be like, okay, yeah, we didn't know. But like City tailed off so early that you guys still had that opportunity to be like, yo, City is gone. Obviously, Liverpool's still a top team.
We still had but you know the thing about Liverpool as well, they had what we had last year. And they had they didn't have many injuries to big players. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but we had that last year where throughout the year our big players were there. We didn't suffer any injuries like so to speak. And when we come to this year now, and then you suffer, you lose Saka for 2-3 months, you lose Odegaard for 2-3 months, you know the Martinellis for a couple of months, Partey for a little bit, now Gabriel and all of that. I mean, everybody had the injuries, right? So it's not really an excuse, but it's a factor when you have a small squad, like and when we have a squad like ours, will depend so much on these players. So when they're not there, obviously it's going to hurt the team. But we did get results without them as well, when they weren't there. But it was just the pace that Liverpool also set, because they didn't lose until March or something. So they set a relentless pace as well themselves, which, like I said, nobody expected. If Liverpool were, on the same level, kind of, when Leicester won it, and Leicester was like, they didn't lose many, but they had like a lot of draws as well. When it was like that,
the big team couldn't beat.
Then you can say, then for me you can say, oh, there's a missed opportunity there, because Leicester, yes, they won it, but they weren't blitzing every team. They weren't winning every game. But this Liverpool team, they were getting results after results after results after results. They only recently, lost, their first game before losing again the second game, and so they did set a good pace, and an informed Arsenal or an informed City could have kept that pace, but unfortunately, with mitigating circumstances, of course. We can talk about the injuries, like I say, we can talk about the Reds and everything, but we only have ourselves to look at, at the end of the day. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. It's just a bad season. For me, it's just a bad season in the league, and Liverpool just used the opportunity. They actually used the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you are right to a certain extent, but I think the when you sit down, even from a outside looking in position, it is like a missed opportunity. Like if you really have to come down to like, is it or is it not? You have to say it is because yes, you guys were the favorite, and you guys knew you were the favorite since last year, since City won it. You know, you guys had the eyes on it, so there was reasons to prepare for it. With the squad and all of that, we talked about it. We talked about the striker and all of that, right? I feel like it wasn't taken seriously. The Premier League by Arsenal this year wasn't taken seriously. Even the way you guys went about games, right? It wasn't as aggressive. It wasn't like, oh, we have to win this no matter what. I remember like last year, even 2 years ago, by January, you guys were like, oh, it's do or die. It's January. You guys were already in that mentality. But this year, it's like, oh, we're going to see if Liverpool slips up. We're going to see how it goes. Let's just go and find out. We're no pressure kind of thing, And it didn't pay off, I understand why.
I think what you're saying about Liverpool in the end it was. In the end it was. When we saw that the gap was kind of getting a little bit bigger, then in the end I accept the fact that maybe they were like we'll see. But at the beginning, I think we went in there with the intention of winning. I mean, we went in there with the intention, but I think Arteta, his main focus was to beat City. All right, his main focus was to beat City. He hurt that first game when they scored the last minute equalizer.
Right,
We made a point of it in the second game when we blitzed them. Like, was it 5-1 or something? So that was his focus. City, and going into the season, you assuming, and I think most people did, that if you beat City, you win the league. But you didn't expect Liverpool to have that kind of a run, that kind of. Yes, it's a missed opportunity in a sense, but also you didn't expect Liverpool to have that kind of a season, and to kind of like put the screw with your plans a little bit, because you're thinking if you beat City you win, and that did not materialize. So I understand what you're saying, that it wasn't the same, but and then the approach as well from this season was a little bit
that's
different.
what I was gonna get to.
The approach was a little bit different. Go ahead.
I was gonna let you finish, but just was gonna say yes. It's down to the approach. That's what I was saying. That's why I'm like the way you guys went about games. Still, even in the beginning, I was okay. Yes, it's the beginning. You can really like, oh yes, set your mind up and be like going. There is like a transition period where you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're focusing on, and all of that. But still, I'm like, I guess we can give it. Let's just put down to Arteta's lack of experience then, because. You are scheduled to be the winner. Like, you are scheduled to be the winner. The winner.
I don't know about scheduled to be, because.
I mean, he was even Pep was giving him all the accolades. Oh yeah, Arteta, Arsenal, I love what he's doing.
I don't think so, because like that the pundits were saying, well, it was between Arsenal and City to win, but City was still kind of like the favorite to win the league. So
that's
it's not,
right.
I understand. And football
that.
is not just a given. It's not just a given. You have to go and play.
Yeah,
precisely. And again, I just feel like the way you guys went about it was less aggressive than the previous years. Now I don't know if Arteta had the Champions League at the back of his mind all along. If that's the case, and he goes and win it, that's gonna be a masterpiece. Like, and nobody gonna argue with him. Hey. You did what you had to do. You're giving them the trophy they never had. That pays back all the last 5 years, right? All the failures, not the whole entirety of his performance, but the failures of each and every single years, right? That will pay it back. But I feel like, yes, it's a missed opportunity in the sense that, yes, could have done better. But I feel like, again, with experience, a manager should go in there. I'm going to kill it. I don't care what nobody else does. I'm going there to get the maximum.
I'm not sure. Let me tell you why.
Saying,
I understand your point of view, and you might be. I understand what you're saying, and you might be right in what you're saying, but you can see it in a different way. You can see it this way, right? Last year we were gun ho. We were, silky smooth, gun ho, but we faded in the end. You see what I mean? So I think because of that, Arteta came in this year with the experience that he had last year. Because he said, if you're saying that it's his lack of experience, I'm thinking, I'm looking at it the other way and looking at it and saying, no, is learn from the experience that of last year, when we went gun ho throughout the first of the season, and then when it mattered, we just ran out of gas. So I think his approach this year was a little bit different in terms of, let's pace ourselves, let's still pick up results, and eventually when the nitty-gritty of the season arrives, hopefully we'll be there and thereabout to challenge. I think that was the approach, instead of just going broom and then run out of gas in the end like we did last year. Did it pay off? Well, obviously it didn't pay off because we didn't foresee, some of the mitigating circumstances, and we didn't foresee as well some of the drop off of performances of some players, especially our captain Martin Odegaard, was the last couple of years it was amazing. This year it was a shadow of himself. Like, honestly, like let's just say it straight, and he's the heartbeat of the team. He makes everything tick. So when he's not there, there's a problem. And obviously, the injuries. So I think he planned for it to be a different season, but to be there and thereabout, to say around the last 10 games and then you push forward. So do a little bit of a reverse of last year. Did it pay off? No, it didn't.
Yeah.
You can call it a missed opportunity. I understand why you will call it a missed opportunity, but I mean, I'm just looking at it the other way.
I mean,
that's a fair point.
We had this debate earlier this season, and I was saying that you guys were very early in the season, that you guys looked more negative this year. And I think, like Freddie highlighted, and maybe others will or have too, is I feel maybe
and I had a problem with that, because I don't think it was negative. That's the thing. I don't think negative was the right word.
I feel like it was, because I feel like you said,
negative is playing like Mourinho style. For me, that's what it is.
You guys are playing more negative. It doesn't mean you guys are playing negative, that you guys have become a park the bus team. But you guys are playing more negative. You guys are becoming a lot more pragmatic. And we did see that last year a little bit, that he became a bit more pragmatic in his thing. But I just think, just kind of going away from what made you successful in the first place was the killer, really, because yes, we can call mitigating circumstances and blah blah blah, but I feel like there will be more, like, I don't know, maybe even sympathy in a way, if you're trying to play your same style and then the injuries come and we can clearly see, it's because all these injuries happen that we can't even continue to fight. But when there was already that change, and we were even at the start of the season when everybody was fit, we were seeing that it's very labored, it's very tough. Like, we're struggling with, obviously there's the red cards and stuff, but we're kind of holding on against teams that we should be really dominating. We're beating teams with corners and stuff like that, and it was just I
don't think who did we hold on against?
But I remember that game against, we had that big debate. That game against
it was harder
Bournemouth,
to win games, yes, but we didn't hold on against any team. Well, we held on against City, and we held on against.
There were some games early on that you guys were winning 1-0, and struggling to defend at the end. Like there were some games early on, and we had this big debate. Like there were some games early on.
I remember the debate. I think the debate was you saying that we played negative because we went down to 10 men against half. Was it Fulham or something? And
there was those games too. There was those games. I think
I was arguing back saying that
that was Brighton. Yeah, there was those games too that you guys that we had that big debate, especially on as well. And I was saying if you're a big team, even if you do go down to 10 men, you can still dominate a game. But anyways, I just felt for me, and I think throughout the season we saw more of it, that the going very pragmatic, like you were saying, we're just gonna pick up results and blah blah blah. It just kind of backfired in that sense. And yes, there's injuries and stuff, but there was a point where you guys couldn't even it took 3 or 4 games where you didn't score from open play. It was just corners for a little bit. Those things, they don't just I don't know. You can just put it down to we had some injuries. There was a decision in the start.
No, I'm not, and I said that the injuries when exactly the excuse. I mean, it's part of it. There's a lot of things, and I also said that we've had a bad season. We've had a bad season, and what I was explaining to Freddie as well is that the approach that Arteta took probably backfired in the end, because I feel like he learned from last year. We went gun-ho from the start, and then we fell off when it was important, and City came back and overtook us. I think for me, I think that's why he came in this year with a slightly different tactic, but and to be a little bit more, a little bit more reserved in our approach, not to go too hard and everything at the beginning. And we see that it didn't pay off because we didn't win the league, right? But I mean, we're still second, we're still in the semifinal of the Champions.
So what do you say? What do you say is the approach next year to win the league over Liverpool? Because Liverpool is going to be part of the conversation now, whether we want it or not. Slot is a winner.
Well, of course, because they're going to be defending champions. So of course, they're going to be part of the conversation.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, what do I say? What in terms of what? In terms of the approach or what?
Yeah, I mean, what's the solution that Arteta is going to have to pull up now? Because the approach this season was, okay, we're going to pace ourselves, and that's according to you, which I can agree with. It makes sense that he will think that, but again, that might still fall within the lack of experience, and then that depends on how big you want to extend that, right? Because you can have, anyway, let's not even go into that. But basically, he came in trying to pace himself, beat City. If I can beat them in a head-to-head, then I have the league because I can keep up with them, right? Now there is a third, variable in the equation that's gonna come in, and they look like, man, they look like they're gonna be on the run for a minute. Liverpool, with the team that they have, with Slot that's here, they have money, they have, they can get any player they want. Like they are ready to build a dynasty right now. So what's going to be the solution for, and that's strictly from Arteta's point. I know all teams are concerned, but for Arteta, what's it going to be to beat City if they come back to form, and then to now beat Liverpool?
What's it going to take? Well, first of all, what I can say is that it's going to take a bigger squad. That's for one. It's going to take a world-class striker or near enough world-class striker. Okay, and it's gonna take a bigger squad. It's gonna take a deeper squad to, whenever you have these type of injuries, you are prepared to replace them adequately. And that's what it's gonna take. We're not far away. I mean, yes, you're talking about we can't say in the same conversation that Liverpool wasn't that great this year, but they were just a little bit better than everybody else. That's what they want. And then say that they're looking scary and they're about to build a dynasty. There's a lot of things that they
because they're gonna get better. They look like they're gonna get better.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, right? But obviously they are gonna improve, but they're losing some players too, and then they have their top players that are getting older. You know, Van Dijk is not getting any younger. I know they're signing new contracts now, but who's to say that they're gonna perform with a year older? Who's to say that they're gonna perform at the same level? Same for Salah. We've seen the drop off of Salah. He hasn't come out of it quite yet, but maybe he will, maybe not. You never know. But so it's just ifs and buts. But just for us, from our point of view, it's just I think we need a deeper squad. I think we need to address we need to address the replacement for. Well, obviously a striker. We need to address a replacement for what's his name, Odegaard. When he's not there, we need to address a replacement for Saka, and we need another 8. We need an 8 or a 6 that's gonna release fully. Rice and give some resting time to the likes of Partey. I think Partey is looking like he is going to sign an extension as well, and so basically that's what it is. This squad is good, but this squad needs help because on its own we see that once there's a little problem to one of the main guys, it's kind of hard to to replace them and to carry on with it. So, but I mean, Arteta has impressed me because he's shown for me that tactically is very good. He's overcome a lot of obstacles since he's been here, and especially since recently. And I think he's gonna kick on again. He's gonna have one more year of experience, and but. Am I gonna say is it gonna win the league next year? No, it's gonna be tougher next year because it's not only Liverpool and City. Next year you got the likes of Chelsea. Maybe they're gonna come back. Chelsea has a decent squad. They're just not fighting the formula right now. We don't know what you guys are gonna do. The likes of
Newcastle, man. I feel like Newcastle is gonna be
the likes of Newcastle. That's what I was looking for. The likes of Newcastle. What are they gonna do? So obviously it's gonna get tougher, but you have to get better and follow along basically, or you get left behind.
Yes, sir.
Facts. Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna wrap it up, like Liverpool winners. They did what they had to do. They pushed on.
But before we wrap it up, let's talk about Liverpool and where do you
that's what I was gonna do.
okay.
Go on.
Because I was gonna ask this question before we leave it. From next year, where do you see that they need improvement to maintain their their supremacy on the league?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, right. I feel like they're in a decent position. I feel like they need some probably a decent amount as well of signings to beef up their squad because they do have also a smaller squad. I think the attack is fine. Maybe you probably want to. It looks like Darwin Nunez is probably gonna leave, so you might want to bring somebody there like. To do a job for you as well, maybe somebody that can grow, a younger player. But obviously, you hope Salah is going to be anywhere near what he was this season. And even if he's not, you do have younger guys like Gakpo and Diaz is not that young anymore. But yeah, you have Gakpo at least that you hope he's going to kick on. You do have guys as well like Harvey Elliott that is good young player, doesn't really get much of a chance. I don't know if he's gonna stay, but he could be a factor. But midfield is probably where I think they need the most. I think they need probably at least one or two, probably two midfielders in there. Because you did see towards the end of the season that they got pretty jaded in midfield, and they were struggling to cover the ground a little bit. The Gravenberch, McAllister that pretty much played every game. Slobosai rotated a little bit, but these two pretty much played like nearly every game. Probably that, and maybe a center back for Van Dijk. So they have some surgery, like Robertson as well is not the same. So they do have some surgery to do. I guess for them, the good thing is that they have a lot of money they didn't spend this year. So they're gonna be able to get the players that they need. No, at least they'll have the money to get the players that they need. Now, recruitment is always.
Who wants to live in Liverpool? That's the problem.
What do you mean?
Who wants to live in Liverpool? That's the problem.
Wants to leave? Oh, live in Liverpool? Yeah, that could be an issue, but I think that would be okay. I think that would be okay. But I totally get what you mean, though. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, they probably have the pick of all the players they can afford right now. But I think for me, obviously, Slot did very well. He did very well first season. Like you said, I don't think there's many players that can. Not many managers that have won the league in the first season. But I think second season is a bit of a confirmation as well, because we know Premier League, we know there's the second season syndrome. Premier League, whatever level you're at in the Prem, whether it's winning a title or staying up or doing well and getting into Europe.
To be fair, it's been so rare to have somebody come in and win that. You can't really apply that logic to him because he came in and won. Like usually you come, maybe you have a little bit of success, and then the second season is tougher. But this guy comes, he wins. Okay, just saying.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there is an expectation next season. You expected,
which there wasn't. So with pressure.
Now there's pressure.
Yeah,
you're expected now to perform at a certain level, and maybe not necessarily win, but you're expected to be at a certain level. And I don't know, maybe that'll be a factor, but we'll see. But yeah, they do have some. I think that they have a decent amount of surgery, like Jan was saying. There is some uncertainty that they need. That there is there,
Yeah, I think for next year, everything you said, I completely echo that. Honestly, with the additions that they need. As much as they can, really, because I feel like the squad was, and that was really apparent at some point. The squad was too thin to compete for all these trophies at once. That's why I guess they settled for the Premier League, which is already a big achievement in itself. But they couldn't go after the Champions League, which was a big thing for the likes of Mo Salah, for example. That would have been the crown for his Ballon d'Or, for example, if they made it to the final or something, right? So a little bit of a miss out on that. So I'm pretty sure they're going to try to rectify that next season, boost up the squad, and try to be on more fronts equally. I think one main thing they need, though, I will say, is a replacement for Salah. They really need to start thinking about, even though they're going to keep him, thinking about after him, or thinking about when he's not performing, who's gonna just take that position and do better. Yeah. I think that's
I mean, I would probably say the same. It's just like, someone who's gonna come and be bedded in to prepare for the after Salah life, and I think defensively as well, like beyond Van Dijk and Konate, there's not much that you can trust. I mean, Kwanzaa he's done all right here and there when he come on, but he's still a little bit young and a bit error prone for me. I wouldn't want to trust him as my go-to guy, for a whole season. I mean, it worked out this year, but I think a little bit like Arsenal, a deeper squad to be able to go after all these competitions next year. And again, obviously, there's going to be more pressure, and they have the money. But we'll see what they do with it. Usually, Liverpool, they're not that big spenders like that. But they were really blessed this year to have most of their main guys stay fit for the majority of the year. You know, I think there was there was Konate that went down a little bit. A few niggles for Szoboszlai here and there, but I mean, nothing major for them, nothing major at all, and they sailed through. So I think that's where they need to do and strengthen next year, and then we'll see. I think next year we'll see exactly what Slot is all about if he can maintain that, that kind of level that is giving them. And we'll see. Yeah. I mean, where the winners in the end. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Real quick segment though. Yes, sir. Are they the best team now in the UK?
What do you mean?
Well, the one, of course, they're the best team in the UK.
Right? Yeah. I mean, of all times. Is that
of all times?
Yeah.
I mean, you mean did they go above United?
Yeah. I mean, they have done above us a while ago, man.
I mean. But if they equal their record in a league, which is the only thing you had above them, because in the Champions League they blitz you guys. I think they have 6.
We have FA Cup too. I think we have.
Oh yeah. You have a few more FA Cups.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think
we're about to get the Europa, man. We're gonna get the Europa. Do they have Europa? They don't.
Man, never seen them with no Europa, man.
Exactly.
I mean, if you get the Europa, I won't be happy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna be happy. I'd rather Bodo Blind win that Europa League, man. Wherever winners Bodo Blind, man. I'm cheering for them. Cheering. No. But yeah, I mean, the record speaks for itself. I mean, they've equaled your record in the league. They have more Champions League than you. I mean, if you want to take some of the FA Cups, I think they're but they're not a bigger club than you, because
commercially not.
The size of the club is not just about it's a lot about what you win. It's about your fan base. It's about your who you are as well. So I don't know. It's a good debate, man. Let's think about it and have a debate next time.
Yeah, maybe.
When I'm ready to destroy you guys.
No, commercially, I don't think they are. But yeah, obviously, historically, they're a bigger club. They're a bigger club. I think since the last one, the COVID title, whatever, I think it was already sealed then. Because we have not been able to compete on.
We have not been. That's the thing.
Yeah. So, but hey, Amorim is the new Ferguson, so we'll see.
That guy is struggling.
My man is struggling,
man.
My guy is.
I can't wait for next season. This guy had almost the whole half a season of sabbatical season. We'll see him next year, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Man, it's gonna be.
He's gonna go to.
I know.
Where was he? Porto, right? Porto, Lisbon.
Yeah.
It was at Lisbon. If you don't win that Europa,
he's gonna go and raid Lisbon, man. He's gonna go and raid that team.
Man, they don't wanna come to us, man. They're gonna be like, what?
Because I don't know, man. Is that I mean, it's just his formation is 3-4-3. He needs specific players for that, man. But let's see next year. But anyway, let's wrap it up there for the champions, Liverpool, who have clinched their 20th title. And we're the winners. Let us know. Let us know in the comments. As usual, tell us what you think. If you're a Liverpool fan, come and tell us what you think about what you're saying today. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe.